My name is Betsy Peterson. I'm the director of the American Folklife Center here at the Library of Congress. I have been here a grand total of 2 years, which in library time is very short. Well, for the Folklife Center, I mean, the Alan and John Lomax collections are our premier collection. That and our Native American wax cylinders from the 1890s. Those are probably our 2 most significant collections. And the Lomax collection is unparalleled probably in the world in terms of focusing on traditional arts and culture, just in terms of the depth and the quality of the material and the just sheer breadth. I mean, this man never stopped. I mean, both him and his father, John Lomax, were tireless. And, were 2 people with a mission. And that's how they lived their lives, and that's how they collected. So, I mean, so it's very significant. We have a lot of people who have, continued to come here and do research. Several books have been published based on this material by other individuals, and including our own staff. But I sense now that people are becoming more and more interested in the choreometrics material. I think just the field of dance in general, I think over the last 20 years, 30 years or so, has, I think, just begun to pay more and more attention to its own history. I mean, so much of it, dance is so ephemeral in many ways, and dance has not benefited from a lot of the, I think, research and scholarship and just notation and that other fields have. And so I think, this could be a key piece of the puzzle, making it more available. But we just need to get more and more, all of our material just needs to get online, just needs to become more digitally available. But it just takes time and money and people with the skills to do that. And I mean, that's the other challenge for us is, as Todd may have mentioned, but I think everywhere, archives and libraries are really, they're changing dramatically, and with all the information technology, obviously libraries and archives are kind of right at the center of all of that. And it's changing so rapidly that trying to catch up with it and just sort of spinning out what all the implications are of what these changes mean in terms of structuring information, making it accessible, and preservation issues alone. Nobody thinks about that, but these mediums and these types of equipment will just continue to become obsolescent. And so what do? And so it's just going to be a continual kind of migrating of data to one format and another. And I think it will become increasingly challenging for all libraries to keep up with that. And for us, because a lot of the material we find, and particularly I think for dance, material is out there, but it's in smaller archives, either artist-driven archives or cultural documentary workers that really don't have the capacity to keep up with this material or to continue to make it accessible. Places like Maryland or like the library and other national repositories, I think, will become more important. We're just going to have to partner more and more. Because I think smaller entities are going to have the content, but they are not going to have the capacity to continue working with the content and making it available. So I mean, the tricky thing with the Choreometrics material, and which makes the Choreometrics material a little bit different than a lot of other Lomax materials, that he may have done some of the documentation, but a lot of it is gathered from other sources. And that's, I think, in part, well, probably another contributing factor that is, it made it not as available, because the rights permissions are so much more complicated.